Crowd packed the National Tennis Center for the main event, an intergenerational clash between 20-year-old Andy Roddick and Pete Sampras, the 31-year-old four-time U.S. Open champion.
Ready, steady, go! Ready, steady, go!
And hi again, everybody. I'm Patrick Macklin, along with my co-host, Mary Carrillo. Welcome to Late Night 11 at the U.S. Open here on CBS. And Mary, well, it was Pete and A-Rod on the big stage, but as it turned out, it was all about Pete tonight.
It sure was. Both these guys enjoy night matches. They both enjoy the big stage. They both enjoy the New York crowds. But Pete certainly enjoyed the night a lot more than Andy.
Certainly did, and he got off to a terrific start. Now, Andy Roddick came into tonight's showdown knowing he's already beaten Sampras in both their previous encounters. But Pete's in those big matches, slam, singles. What a start it was for Sampras. The big forehand was working early. And I mean, he really set the tone here, Mary. Roddick's opening service game, and then cruised. That's all he needed in set number one.
Oh, that's right, and he only lost 4 points on his own serve in that first set.
And that right there, Mary, was Roddick's only break-point chance of the evening.
Second set action, Sampras serving at 3-2, and just nothing is going right for Andy Roddick.
Not going to win too many of those rallies against Pete, whose reflexes were just so tuned in tonight.
Set point for the two-set lead. And even Roddick's got to give Pete the thumbs up on that one. Third set action. First point of the first game.
Oh, the running forehand pass, and Sampras in full flight. Pete gets up an early break in set number 3. I mean, Roddick never in this match at all. The beautiful drop volley winner, Sampras closes it out. Afterwards, he stopped by and joined us in the studio. A lot easier than I think a lot of us expected tonight.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised it went pretty smooth. I got off to a good start, got that early break, and I kind of set the tone with that, chipping and charging, kind of rushing him a little bit. It was pretty blustery down there, and I think we both were struggling to play a little bit, but, I have no complaints. It's been a pretty good week.
An hour and a half to get into the semifinals. I mean, even you had to expect more match than that, right?
Yeah, it's very tough to break Andy. I thought we'd play a breaker or two and kind of go from there, but, right. Like I said, I got off to a good start, and I just kind of picked it up. He got a little discouraged, a little frustrated. I don't think he was at the top, but I'll take it. It's good for my body to, have a day off tomorrow. I'll be ready for Saturday.
He only had one break serve, one break point against you, and yet you feel like your serve was kind of out of whack.
Yeah, I served really well against Haas, and tonight I didn't have the rhythm, especially my first serve. I wasn't making a lot, and my second serve I was hitting it pretty well, pretty big, and it was a little windy, so it was tough, the ball toss and all that stuff. So.
Well, you said before the match, when you were warming up today, you said that you're going to go for your second serves. That's one of your big shots. And it just seemed like even when you hit a couple of double faults, you weren't concerned.
I wasn't. That's the way I play. I go for it. The second serve is a big shot. And I give it a good rip. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. That's my strategy, and it's paying off.
Obviously, Andy wasn't playing his best, and at some point, did you think he wasn't moving well because he was hurting, or what?
I don't know. I heard he hurt his foot in the other match, and he wasn't moving great, and his energy seemed low. Right. Usually Andy's a lot more upbeat, and I don't know if it was injury or the fact that I was playing pretty well. I don't know what happened, but I'll take it. It was good for this. To win in this match in straight sets.
Maybe the fact that you're 20-0 at night has something to do with it. You see, you are really relishing what the crowd's bringing to the table.
I love
for you.
it. I love it. I love playing here at night. I'm wide awake. I'm ready to go from the first point on. The atmosphere is awesome. It was packed tonight and good energy. It was good night.
Talk about Sheng Shalkin. I mean, you've beaten him 4 times, but it's been a couple of years since you played him. He's a solid guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a big weapon, though. I mean, obviously you have to feel pretty confident. I mean, you seem like your game's gotten better each match.
It's gotten better, and it's a tricky match. I need to get up for it, and everyone thinks it's a shoo-in, but I know Sheng Shalkin, he's very solid, does everything very well. I'm looking forward to it.
I gave it a big rip. I like how Pete said that, and surely he's he's going to give it a big rip against Shane Shalkin. I'm kind of liking this guy to get into the final.
I think that's a good pick, Gary. I mean, he came out with a lot of energy and intensity from the start, and I think that surprised Roddick. Well, lots more tennis still to come, including a post-match chat with Andy Roddick when Late Night at the U.S. Open continues here on CBS.
The U.S. Open Late Night Show. Sponsored.
What was crackling with excitement hours earlier is now quiet, and following the match, Andy Roddick joined us in our studios. Andy, first of all, thanks for coming in. We know that you don't have to do this after a loss, but just tell us how you felt out there. Was the foot bothering you at all?
Not any worse than the other night. It's a little tougher against Pete because he's hitting the ball hard to the corners as opposed to Cello, who's kind of, you know, massaging the balls, and I could get a good rip and get myself into the point. But, you know, it didn't make a difference out there. Pete was playing really well tonight, and, you know, I threw him a couple games, and that one game was atrocious in the second set, and then the third set, I kind of, you know, 2 bad games can cost you a match out there. That's
my question. How much of this loss was about Pete's play, and how much of this loss was about your play?
A lot of it was about Pete. I mean, I'm not going to take credit away from anybody. He played a great match, and you know, came up big when he had to, and he played the big points, you know, impeccably tonight. And you know, that's just something I'm going to have to try to learn from and do myself in the future. Also, how tough? You're a very emotional player. And, you know, you get the crowd going, and it seemed, though, that you were so respectful of this packed crowd and of what they felt for Pete. In a way, I was trying to figure out what your emotion was out there. Were you struggling with that a little? Not really. I didn't have much to get excited about. It's pretty much what it comes down to. I mean, it would look kind of stupid if I'm down, you know, a set in 2 breaks and I hit a good shot and start, you know, going off. I mean, that's not really, you know, that's not really the thing to do. You get to take that match out of your head and start all over again right now. What do you do differently? That's the thing I'm optimistic about. I mean, I'm winning matches out here, but I have a lot of things that I can work on. You know, and you know, that excites me. I have to get back to the drawing board. You know, I'm you know, looking forward to some Davis Cup, and then, you know, a couple more tournaments throughout the year, and then what I'm really looking forward to, you know, is some of the off season and really getting some time to work on the things where it's not just one tournament after another. So you know, it's a learning process, and I'm definitely learning. Thanks for coming in, and we appreciate it. Thank you. He is learning plenty, Patrick, and when he says that Pete played the big points impeccably, what Andy comes away from this match with, I think, is that he has to create more big point opportunities for himself. It's not just enough to play them well. Get yourself a lot of them. He couldn't do that tonight. It's also nice to hear a young guy talk about wanting to get better and things that he needs to work on. Well, when we come back, we'll look at the other quarterfinal winner, Sheng Shalkin, and we'll preview tomorrow's women's semifinals as Late Night rocks on from the big city. Now this afternoon, Sheng Shalkin of the Netherlands and Fernando Gonzalez of Chile locked up in a 5-set quarterfinal. It's kind of a weird match, wasn't it? I mean, Shalkin was up 5-1 in the first set tiebreak, loses that, but in the next 2 sets, he totally dominates, and of course, he was certainly helped a lot by Fernando Gonzalez, who made 30 unforced errors in those next couple of sets. It was a windy day, Patrick, and obviously it was a little bit of a struggle for both guys to play their best tennis. Shalkin has a lot more experience despite that beautiful runner by Gonzalez. He was able to take that 2-set-to-1 lead, but Gonzalez wins the 4th, then we go to the 5th, and now we pick it up in the tiebreak. Shalkin up 5-zip in the 5th set tiebreak. And remember, Shalkin is the only guy, Mary, that tested Leighton Hewitt at Wimbledon this year. What a 5-setter that was. And Shalkin through to his first Grand Slam semifinal. Can he win the Open?
So you never know. It's only 2 matches left. So if I get one chance maybe in the next round and I take it, I'm in the finals, and anything can happen there. Nice thing about Sheng Shalkin, Patrick, is I've seen him lose so many close 5-setters. He's always on the wrong end of the deal, and finally today he won one.
Finally he comes up, so he comes up as one of the surprises, certainly, on championship weekend.
He's a surprise semifinalist on the men's draw, but we also have a surprise semifinalist on the women's draw as well.
3 young Americans, former champions all, and 1 French woman comprise this year's U.S. Open semifinal field.
I know y'all know we're gonna do that.
This year, Serena Williams has stepped up her game and stepped out of the shadows of her big sister. Arthur Ashe Stadium is the site of her first ever major title in '99. She's already won this year's French Open and Wimbledon, and now at age 20, she's become philosophical about it all.
Soon it's not going to be my turn anymore, so while it is my turn, I have to take it for all it's worth and enjoy it, you know, because it's not going to last forever.
Lindsay Davenport knows how fleeting fame can be. After rehabbing from knee surgery, she's fitter than ever. And the 1998 U.S. Open champ appreciates her latest opportunity, but knows that stopping the Williamses won't be easy.
I think it's pretty obvious the last year. I mean, Serena and Venus have pretty much dominated the Grand Slams, and it would be nice to see some different players in the finals.
Not if Venus has her way. Although her own sibling has demoted her to the second seed, that family bond doesn't seem to deter the defending two-time champion. Venus is daring others to wrest the silver prize out of her hands. Is she confident? You bet she is.
I definitely think if I play well, the chances are I'm going to win.
Standing in her path is Amelie Mauresmo. Although yet to claim a title, the 10th seed has proven she can eliminate top-ranked players.
I think so. I think all the chances you get against these players you have to take, because, you know, it doesn't come a second time.
4 women remain, 2 victories from the prize.
Patrick, they're all playing very well, but I still have it in my head this could turn out to be an in-house championship.
I think you're right about that. But the interesting thing is that Serena hasn't really been tested. I wonder if she has a tough one. I think Lindsay could give her a tough match.